Alright, everything looks splendorific. Uploaded the first episode to YouTube, and just to make sure everything was legible, and I do think it is. Although my failing eyes would prefer a larger font size. Oh well. Also, I tried out several possible folder locations where a persistent autosave would be kept, and sure enough, I did find the location where Heroes Rise the Prodigy that keeps its saves. I didn't test it out to make sure. Oh. But, I mean, I probably know what I'm doing. Anyway, let's move on here. Chapter 2 by the Roots. Once upon a time, your parents, the Sound and the Fury, were Millennia City's most famous powered couple. When they met in high school, they discovered that your mother's ability to generate vocal sonic waves perfectly complemented your father's ability to harness sound energy. Almost immediately after they arrived on MC's hero scene, the public became enamored with their budding romance and their harmonious power set. As they rose rapidly to the hero A-list, no villain was too dangerous for them to battle, and no party was too exclusive for them to attend. This meant that you got to spend your childhood immersed in MC's finest hero high life, knowing that someday you'd fight alongside your parents as a famous hero. Until your 13th birthday, it was going to be the best night of your life, the first time your powers might begin to manifest. Your parents were at a press conference speaking about one of their recent successes, shutting down an assassin training academy masquerading as a public high school. They were supposed to say a few words about the mission and then come straight home to celebrate your big night. However, just as they were preparing to leave, a young villainess crashed the event. She was Miss Artillery, one of the Assassin Academy's teachers, and she entered ranting about how the Sound and the Fury had ruined her life. She quickly went on the offensive with her power to generate weaponry, and your parents moved to apprehend her. But for some strange reason, perhaps because they were in such a rush to get home to you, they miscalculated their joint attack. In what became the biggest news story of the year, the Sound and the Fury murdered Miss Artillery by liquefying her brain, snapping her spine, or blowing out her heart. I was actually starting to twitch there, because my incredible oracular abilities and speed reading were looking down to those options, and I am eye horror sensitive, and I am heart horror sensitive. I mean, liquefying her brain and snapping her spine sound really horrendous too. But in how my mind works, and it's just due to the near-death experience I suffered with Kawasaki syndrome when I was a child, and the overall hard sensitivity that has been pounded into my head by doctors whenever as a kid, that I'm just a little... Oh, there you go. Now you know my weaknesses. If you ever wish to capture me and break me so that you can learn, where's the next level of Crime Squad, you motherfucker? So let's say that my parents didn't do that. Let's just say they liquefied her brain, because I don't like the idea of snapping her spine either. We just liquefied her brain. I mean, as far as, like, horror goes, I mean, that just sounds the best, right? Good job, Mom. Good job, Dad. While your father used his sound-enhanced strength to restrain Miss Artillery, your mother aimed to disable her with a quick sonic blast. You still don't know whether your mother misjudged the strength of her blast, or your father miscalculated the angle. Either way, when the blast cleared, Miss Artillery drooped in your father's arms, pink matter oozing from her nostrils. I don't think any of these options were winners. The horror genre is more for my mother and brother. My brother likes to write like horror stories in like his spare time. It's been a passion of his for years. Not me though. I do not like the horror genre. Nope. Nope. I'm good. This certainly wasn't the first time a hero had accidentally used fatal force against a villain. Traditionally, this mistake would require a fair amount of community service and a hefty fine, especially for heroes of your parents' caliber. However, this accident came on the heels of a recent string of excessive hero-on-villain brutality, and their case fell into the hands of Judge Victon, an up-and-comer who was making a play to become NC's mayor. Deciding that a harsh ruling would set the perfect example for his zero-tolerance campaign against heroic brutality, Judge Victon passed the harshest sentence ever given to any powered hero. Citing a murderous misuse of powered ability, he sentenced your parents to a life term in the Devoid, a maximum security facility for powards, without visitation rights. Hold on. My brain's a little out of it right now. And it's not going to do me any good to fucking restart the video, because I'm just going to have to stare at those options again. Let's just move on. Okay, so our parents were the victim of law and politics, and they were sentenced to a life term when I was 13. Without visitation rights. The last time you saw your parents was on the day of that infamous sentencing, right before the police escorted them to the Devoid. You'll never forget the image of your mother and father in orange jumpsuits, handcuffed and shamed, their spirits broken. Judge Victon wouldn't even let them hug you goodbye. Your mom couldn't stop crying as the police escorted her away, but as your dad followed, he turned to you and said the words you'd come to live by. Don't let this stop you, Grimith. Become a hero. For us. Your father could not have known the profound effect those words would have on you, especially after his unjust treatment at the hands of the legal system. As a result, you have very strong beliefs regarding the law. I'll always follow the law in order to avoid my parents' fate. However, I don't necessarily mind getting a bit creative with the law if the situation absolutely calls for it. I have no problem with breaking the law, but I try to follow it whenever it seems reasonable enough. I have absolutely no respect for the law. I know that I have to live by my own rules. Well, I can't really say that one is the correct option here, because I already violated the law to fly. So I certainly haven't always followed the law. I have no problem with breaking the law, but I try to follow it whenever it seems reasonable enough. Or I have absolutely no respect for the law, and I know that I have to live by my own rules. I think my character has absolutely no respect for the law, and he knows that he has to live by his own rules. And, you know, if it coincides with the law, that's great. But what's more important than the law is my character's personal beliefs, his ideas that he operates with in life. I have no problem with breaking the law, but I try to follow it whenever it seems reasonable enough. And you could easily interpret that as an applicable, selection as well. Me not flying just doesn't seem reasonable. Whereas here, I mean, my rules could easily equal those of the law. Whatever. It's like I'm attempting to haggle with the game that won't respond to my haggling in future situations, I suppose, when I'm trying to, uphold my personal ideas. Oh, you're following the law. You have no respect for the law. Fuck you. I'm following what my rules are, and my rules just so happen to be what the rules of the law are. Flying illegally and small acts of vigilantism or child's play. You're not going to let anything, especially not the broken legal system, stand in the way of your heroic rise. There's no undo button for these situations either. Perhaps your selection there takes into account what you end up doing in the first chapter. Well, yes, I will, fuck it. It's not like I want to just do restart it. We're sticking with this. And my character is extremely lawless. And that Victon guy, yeah. Judge Victon, can't say I'm a big fan. After the trial, your parents' considerable fortune was transferred to Miss Artillery's estate, and you were assigned to live with your only living relative, your grandma. However, moving in with her wasn't so simple. Over the course of their careers, your parents had amassed a deadly collection of enemies, each of whom would be thrilled to seek revenge on the Sound and the Fury's now defenseless family. So the court enrolled you and Grandma in the Powered Family Protection Program. You and Grandma were given brand new identities. The Sterling name was assigned to you, though you at least got to keep your first name. Grandma suddenly found herself forced to live on a pitiful PFPP stipend and had to move you into a small apartment in the eastern fringes. She also had to pull you out of your fancy, powered-only private school and enroll you in the local public school. In the course of a few short months, your life became entirely unrecognizable to you, and it has never been the same since. That's why, every day, you remind yourself of who you really are. Your real family name is Tricamo, Apple, Caston, Rosado, Lee, Rizzo, Dector, Ito. Our fortune was transferred to Miss Artillery State, huh? Well, I'd rather create my own family name. Suppose we can just go with the standby Reaper then. The most noble Reaper family heritage. My real last name is Reaper. So, Grimith Reaper was no more, giving way instead to Grimith Sterling, and you found that the Sterling version of yourself was vastly different, forced to grow up way faster than anyone ever should. Back in the kitchen, you look across the table at Grandma. She's the only other person in the world who understands how you feel. After all, she was forced to abandon the life she had built for over 70 years to enter the PFPP with you. Despite this, Grandma has still managed to start over and find a way to be happy once again. And without her, you'd have had no shot at becoming a hero. Thank you, Gran, you repeat, fighting against the lump forming in your throat. Oh, hush up, Grandma says, wiping at her cheeks. What are you waiting for? You've got a career to start. You run into your room, where you've made sure not to keep any plants, since you don't need Grandma's best spies hanging around. It is decorated plainly, but what truly makes the room yours is the wall filled with framed posters of your favorite powered heroes. Featured centrally are your parents in their classic Sound and Fury costumes, right next to your favorite powered hero, Rebellion. Oh man, he has been your idol ever since you were a little kid. You've got plenty of other posters on your hero worship wall, but whose career do you want to emulate most? The team players or the solo heroes? Rebellion, leader of the Millennial Group, MC's #1 powered team, the Every Min Brigade, MC's most prominent work-for-hire team, Static, the Eastern Fringe's current champion, or Black Magic, MC's latest hero heartthrob. Black Magic, huh? Just gives me a grin on my face. I'm just thinking of, Final Fantasy. Like an adorable, freaking, shadowy figure, dressed in those damn robes with the beautiful conical hat. Sure, I like that image too much. A Rebellion, I mean, that's cool and all, but I don't think my character's that much of a team player. I think, given what he'd emulate, it would be a solo. It'd be a solo deal. So, maybe we can, have Black Magic, MC's latest hero heartthrob, and then my character can learn necromancy. Yeah! Alright, I'm into it. Besides, Static, the Eastern Fringe's current champion, I mean, he sounds solo, or she, or I don't know. Whatever. Let's just go on. Black magic blazed onto the scene after single-handedly protecting MC from a foreign terrorist incursion last year. Even though her origin remains completely shrouded in mystery, Black magic is currently MC's most famous solo hero, especially after receiving the most recent Millennia City's Hero of Tomorrow grant. Which is the most esteemed honor that can be bestowed upon any aspiring hero. It doesn't hurt that black magic is absolutely gorgeous either, oh my. Despite the mainstream hype, you can't help but be attracted to black magic, mostly because of her striking resemblance to your biggest crush, an old-time celebrity icon from back in the days when normal people were famous. Huh. Huh. Oh. I can safely say this was not a question I was expecting. Beyonce, Angelina Jolie, Natalie Portman, or it appears that I can put in my own description for how... Oh, that sounds like it would be great fun on a live broadcast. What does this character really look like? Dolly Parton! Janet Reno! Hillary Clinton! I don't think I'm gonna go absurd there. Let's select one of these options here, Natalie Portman. Black magic is a dead ringer for Natalie Portman. You think she might actually be a direct descendant, but no one knows enough about her past to be sure. You've always been fine being alone, especially since you haven't had much choice in the matter. Still, there's something about black magic. Whenever you see her, you feel like you want more. Sometimes, when you're falling asleep, you stare at Black Magic's poster and imagine her lying beside you. It would be awfully nice to have someone there, though you try not to indulge in thoughts like this too often. Huh. Welp. I know if Variax was playing this, he'd have written in Keira Knightley. Let me look up a picture of Natalie Portman here. Gotta properly visualize her. Yeah, I visualize her as she looks in the fucking Professional movie. That would be scary shit. Fucking murder girl. Oh. Man. Alright. Well, now that I've had my creep moment here, let's continue. Every morning, you stare at the hero wall and envision what your own poster will look like among these famous heroes. Peeling your eyes away, your attention wanders down to the video game you're supposed to be testing. Now that you have your license, you can finally quit the game testing job, since there are dozens of ways for heroes to earn a living. Most of these paid jobs are very difficult to obtain, though. You've heard the horror stories about the endless lines at the DRPR to collect powered hero unemployment. Still, you don't think twice about tossing the video game in the trash. Wow, we're just gonna fucking take the $100 and run for it, huh? And reaching for your single most prized possession, the ineffable costume. As you suit up, you pull a mask over your face to protect your identity. Even though no one would ever recognize you as the Sound and the Fury's child, now that you're all grown up, you don't need anyone discovering your Sterling identity and coming after Grandma. You've been perfecting the right costume for a long time, since it's your calling card as a hero. Knowing this, you've chosen a color scheme that's all tones of black and metal gray for intimidation. Oh, yes! I love black and off-black colors, and purple, too. If it was black and purple, that'd be the tits. Bright and bold primary colors to get noticed. Black and bronze, the colors of Millennia City's flag. Blue and gold, the colors of my favorite hero, Rebellion. Red and silver, the colors of my parents' Sound and Fury costumes. Aww. No, I'm gonna be my own person. Though that is pretty tempting. Certainly not gonna be blue and gold. It'd just be weird. The black and metal gray, though. I mean, that does sound a little bland. I do like... Maybe we could have, like, purple trim, at least. Yeah. 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 Every time you put on your costume, you can't wait to use your powers. So you snap your fingers, generating a small pop of energy, which also... Well, this is gonna be purple. Yep. I mean, we're already wearing black. Just not gonna do, like, more black. That'd be weird. Create my own color. Razzle, dazzle, puddin', pops, Theo, cherry, orange. Purple. As the pop of purple energy fades, that's gonna be a proper noun now. Oh, it's gonna fucking bother me. I mean, it was all capitalized in the list. It had periods, too. Ah, no. Well, they'll get over it. Hopefully you will, too. You look over your costume in the mirror. Knowing that style without substance means very little, you've also chosen design features that amplify your powers. Truth be told, you'd have been able to afford your hero license way sooner if you hadn't spent so much money on your most prized upgrade. Aerodynamic rounded curves and small back wings for maximum speed. A rocket backpack to channel excess energy and add propulsion to my normal speed flying. Large metal wristbands that store energy for blasting. I'm a fan of speed over power. That tends to be an emphasis and focus in video games. That being said, me personally, I don't have that much dexterity or agility. Compared to the brute force I have from being a well-fed, privileged white male. Over 6 feet tall. I don't know how much I weigh these days. My weight's been fluctuating rather heavily this year. Probably say 260. But, aerodynamic rounded curves and small back wings, a rocket backpack. And propulsion, so I can really get, like ramming speed, so I can charge into people. Like we're, having a classical age, naval warfare here. Like it. Because that's how I handled someone earlier. I didn't, use my blasting power. I rammed them. I like it. Yeah. This offensive upgrade allows you to fly at normal speeds without lowering your power level, an invaluable resource while in the field. Nice. Okay. Offensive upgrade, too. Great. The best defense is telling kids to get wrecked. As you, the ineffable, stand there in your perfect costume and with all of your intentions set, you realize that you're finally ready to start your hero career. Becoming a legendary hero means more to you than just fulfilling your own dreams. It's also about redeeming the Reaper name. You have one ultimate goal, to become an A-list hero and reveal to Millennia City that you are actually the Sound and the Fury's child. You know that achieving this level of success is the only way to restore honor to your parents and redeem your family's legacy in the hero world. And because it's so important to your end goal, one central question constantly plagues you. In your rise to become a legend, is it more important to focus on achieving fame or upholding justice? I'll need everyone to know my name to get to the top. I don't care what they're saying as long as they're talking about me. Having people know who I am is always going to help, but only if my reputation as a hero is worthwhile. It's vital that I uphold justice first and foremost, but that doesn't mean I can't smile for the press once a mission is accomplished. Or always doing the right thing will make me a hero worthy of legend. I'll get to the top by never compromising my commitment to justice. Dumb. I don't think this character I've made is going for the third option as well. It's between the first and second. I mean, we've already committed to extremes here. Having people know who I am is always going to help, but only if my reputation as a hero is worthwhile. or I'll need everyone to know my name to get to the top. I don't care what they're saying, as long as they're talking about me. I think so. Telling that mother your name earlier tonight was just the beginning. I like these tie-ins to choices I've already made. Your first priority will always be to get your name out there, to gain notoriety. For having the courage to begin your hero rise, your legend has already increased. Your legend level is the most important meter for gauging your success in the hero world, and is affected not only by the decisions you make, but also by any fluctuations in your public image. Rebellion's legend is the highest on record, an astounding 100, so that's your ultimate goal. Your legend level is tracked on your hero license. You flip it over and see you've got a long way to go since your current legend is a lowly 1. It's like auto-updates. And the future is awesome! Your first priority will always be to get your name out there, to gain notoriety, for having the courage to begin your hero rise. I'm a little distracted with reading. I have had, earlier this year, I had severe problems with a chest infection, and it has returned over the past month, which has slowed my uploading videos. It's part physical, and it's also a little mental, too, since I'm so sensitive about things, and whenever I start thinking about my chest too much, it starts to bother me. Which is what happened at the start of this chapter. You sigh and place the license on your desk. Since this plastic version is only a keepsake, the official version of your license has already been scanned and uploaded into your Mead chip, a bit of personal tablet technology embedded in the other side of your wrist. Not too long ago, people used paper slips to pay for things and little plastic devices as phones. Not too long ago, people used paper slips to pay for things. But that was before all communication, identification, entertainment, and banking functions became standard in me chips. Not you chips, me chips. Each Mead chip comes fully customizable with robotic personality programming that adapts to your habits and desires. There are 3 standard templates available for the robotic personality, so you decided to go with a... As if there is any fucking doubt. Give me that sass. You then decided to name your Mead chip diva. Yes. Not even no. Fucking J2. That was me being giddy and running across my room and back because I was so giddy. Yeah. Kudos on the license, sugar, Mead Chip J2 says inside your head, sounding snappy. All Mead Chip functions are connected directly to your senses, so J2 floats in front of your eyes thanks to holographic imaging wired to your retinas. Only you are able to see Mead Chip J2, who appears as a drag queen wearing Thank you so much for this moment. Thank you. Oh, my life is awesome. Oh, I need fan art of that. I'm gonna fucking print screen this. I'm so fucking sending this down. Only you are able to see Mead Chip J2, who appears as a drag queen wearing roller skates. You best work that career, honey. Thanks, J2, you say, smiling. You then take a moment to check your hero statistics by clicking on the Show Stats button located at the top of the screen. The choices you make throughout your career will be reflected in the statistics and levels listed here. You also noted that in turn, these stats and levels will significantly alter, excuse me, I'm still giddy, will significantly affect the course of your hero career. The choices you make will have very real consequences, so be sure to choose wisely. And, I'm big into fame. I'm lawless, I'm a bad boy. Yeah, bad boy. Alright. J2, you say. Move the Show Stats button to my home screen and... You all look insane talking to those electronic voices in your heads, Grandma says from the doorway. That's why I simply refuse to have one of those machines implanted in me. It just doesn't seem right. I know how you feel about me, Chips Gran, you say, turning towards her, and it's annoying because now that they've done away with landlines and cell phones, there's no way of getting in touch with you. Which is precisely how I like it, Grandma says. But look at you, a born Reaper hero. Well, this born hero had better get out there, you say, shaking off your nerves. This career isn't going to start itself. Wait, before you go. Grandma walks toward you, and you see that she holds an envelope in her hands. Your stomach drops. It's going to be like a letter from my parents, maybe? It's such a big day, Grandma says, her eyes on the floor. They'd want to be here so badly. Oh. Your jaw goes tight. You know exactly what Grandma wants you to do. While the Devoid may not allow its prisoners to have any visitors, it does permit them to receive letters. So for years, you wrote to your parents, telling them everything about your life. You thought writing those letters would make you feel better, but it only made you feel worse. Because the Devoid doesn't allow its prisoners to write any letters back. It's been years since you've written anything. Grandma looks up at you, and your heart feels like it might break. I'm sorry, you say, but you know how I feel about this, Gran. You don't write letters to your parents anymore because it's too painful. Or I'm angry that my parents had to abandon me. But I wouldn't be angry at them, and no. I need to learn how to live without them? No, and I don't know what to say, which would be a little true. It's too painful. Which I'm sure it's also painful for them. Not writing letters to your parents proves just as difficult as actually writing them, so it's a task you try to avoid thinking about entirely. Grandma knows this, so she doesn't press the issue. All right, Grimith, Grandma says, fighting to keep her face even. Now listen to me. Please be careful out there. Lord knows I won't be able to sleep until you're home. I will, Gran. I promise. Then off you go, she says, drumming of a smile. And do try to kick some butt, yes? Ready to go. You step on your Window's 14th story ledge and look out over the grandeur of Millennia City. One of the advantages of living in the Eastern Fringes is the spectacular view of MC's iconic skyline. You take a deep breath, letting the energy of the city run through you. Standing on this precipice, you can't help but wonder what kind of hero you will become. And will you be able to survive long enough to achieve the legend status you crave? The choice is up to you, you think to yourself, right before you jump off the ledge. Next chapter, the lower case.